Hey Dwellers, to stay up to date on all the latest news, reviews, openings and of course weekly programming, just click on the little guy here in the corner to subscribe and you'll get notifications when the newest content lands. Please enjoy the video.
A land of innocence has no need for gods until fate intervenes.
Hello Dwellers and welcome to another episode of Looking Back. On today's episode we're going to be looking at 2001's Black and White. Released back in 2001 by EA and was developed by Lionhead Studios, you play as a god and you're responsible for spreading your influence across a variety of worlds. Now, okay, I feel we need to take a moment with this one to look at an amazing fact that comes with this game. Peter Molyneux of Lionhead Studios told people that this would be a great game where you'd have free choice and the game would be unique, and that you'd have to get any time you could choose whether you wanted to be good or evil. And for once, he told the truth. He actually told the truth. Which, if anybody knows anything about Peter Molyneux, he just has a habit of talking crap to try and sell his games. But this time he actually told us the truth, and we actually got the game we were promised. Anyway, going on to it, we'll start off. Now, for the gameplay, you start off black and white by dropping into the first world after being born from a family's prayer to save their drowning son. After doing this, they lead you to their village, which needs a god and has absolutely nothing attached to it. So you step into the role and start trying to build up the belief of the people inside the village through your acts. This then leads you into being introduced to your good and your evil side, which is summed up by, well, a nice witty combo of your good sage and of a little devil as well. Each one's trying to get you to use your powers to do things their way, and quite frankly they're a great little comedy element as well that I love through the entire game. Now, one of the first missions actually involves a rock that's blocking the entry to someone's house, and this is a good example. The good version involves picking up the rock and pinging it into the sea, which you could do this using the hand that you get given as your on-screen cursor, so to speak. So you can actually see where you are and interact with everything. And the evil version, which is suggested by your little devil, is that you just pick up the rock and drop it on top of her house instead, probably killing her in the process, as he says you should teach her not to pester a god with such petty tasks. But as you move through the world you dominate, you do it through either blessings and good godly acts of influence and they spread the word, or you can move away from the love tactic and be evil and instill fear and obedience through violence and scare tactics. And they both have their own outcomes of how you do things. The end game is either to destroy the temple after all the influence of any other god has been removed from it, or you can keep going onwards and pushing them to love you more and more, and they'll build a temple in your name instead, and the original temple will be destroyed. So in short, the first level really is to teach you how to play the game and get into the control of it and that. Once you move on to the second level, the actual story of the game is given to you, and in short it's another god, Khazar, appears to tell you about the creed, which can be used to destroy a god, and he needs your help to help him destroy an evil god, which then the evil god, your nemesis Lethis, appears and destroys Khazar and actually turns around and murders his own creature for not being evil enough anymore. So this starts you off on your adventure of hunting him down by taking each village one at a time. Now, as just covered, influence is the key to win back people and then expand yourself onto other villages as well. The influence is broken into two types through the game. There's good influence, where you can use your miracles, which we'll cover shortly, You use those to feed your people, help them build new houses, produce fire, and basically make their lives easier and better. And obviously that helps your populace grow, as well as then if you're influencing people in a positive way, they're able to thrive, they're able to breed, and as they have their children are raised to worship you as well, which builds up and up, as the game also works off a format of like faith power. So you have to have a certain amount of power to commit certain acts, etc. And it's displayed as a ring of influence leading out from the temple to how many people you're actually touching. Now, you can then go the other way of things if you want, which is being evil, and that's where you set fires, you can throw rocks and animals at people, or you can actually pick up the people and throw them as well. If you add in the fact you smash buildings and sacrifice people to increase your power, you get everybody that are so terrified that they then will worship you out of pure fear instead. I mean, each has its own plus and minuses. The good route takes longer to do. You have to be more tactical. You have to really plan where you're going to do things to get maximum output from it. And people will help in turn though, because they'll share your good deeds and help you grow your influence through that as well. And as I mentioned, as they have children, the children will be raised to believe in you as well. Whereas the evil allows you to have more instant results, but the only problem you've got is if you kill too many people, there's not enough people to worship you to give you enough god power to do other things. And well, at that point you could try and get the cows and the sheep to follow you, but I tried that, it doesn't work, so we'll leave it at that one. And as I just mentioned then, miracles. They're the spells that help you unlock more things you can do, and basically the more you use them, the more spells you unlock as well, and use them throughout the game. They range from producing food grains, wood, obviously for helping people eat and to build, and then for fire and lightning, etc., which can be used in a good or evil way. Obviously these help with expanding influence, as people each have their own assigned jobs throughout the game as it is, and you can assign people to jobs. So you have people in the woods, so they go wood chopping. You'll put people in the fields, so they'll become farmers. You can put people out with the animals, so either they'll look after the animals or they'll collect meats from the animals as well. But using the miracles, you can speed things up as you go, and obviously an act of God helps influence people to believe in you as well, as it's kind of hard to ignore a giant hand in the sky dropping lots of wood in a pile for you whilst you're building a wooden house. And you could then said you can use it the other way as well, with like evil, setting fires, burning houses down, causing lightning storms, etc. And whichever way you want to play it, it's the fantastic thing about this game. Totally open environment, totally open set of choices. You get your powers, up to you how you want to use them. You can get the help from your creature, and well, yes, creatures was one of the big selling points they put in this game, as you can pick a creature to represent you on your world. Basically you pick from a selection of creatures like a tiger or a cow, and you have them go around. Obviously they're a giant version of each animal. They basically go around your world doing jobs for you, and a sort of liaison between you and your people, which with this you have to teach him how to do these things. So for example, if you attach him to you with a leash you can get of training, and start putting wood down for people to build houses, eventually he'll learn it's good to help people to build. So he will then start collecting trees and bringing the trees to the people when they're trying to build. Same as in turn with the food. If you show them the food that you give to the villagers and how happy they are, your creature will then eventually start helping with farming, etc. So on the other side of it is there's evil actions as well you can teach him if you go down the path of being evil, and that will cause him to start doing things like stamping on villagers and trying to scare them with roars and all sorts of fun. In short, he will do things of his own accord as well. Like, one problem I had for a while, one of my creatures I remember, was he kept going around and eating my people. Now, you interact with your creature directly. You can either give him a fuss, scratch behind his ear, tickle his belly to let him know he's doing good things, or if you don't like what he's doing, you can slap him a few times to teach him that it's naughty. So obviously that helps you shape which way your creature goes as well. Now, one of the cool things with it as well is your creature will actually physically change depending on the route that you teach it. A good creature will become glowing and happy, almost angelic, and will happily bounce around and dance, etc., around the villagers. Whereas if you raise him with evil, he will become constantly angry, he'll pick up a demonic look, and he'll have runes and markings all over him. It's just one of the things that made this game so good. It's just watching how your creature changed, and each individual creature had its own version of how it changes as well. So there's so much variety in this game that they put in. I mean, the graphics, yep, they were great for this game. As I just said, with the creature, you could see it, but one of the things that I really loved in this game with the graphics was the fire and lightning effects were fantastic that they had in it at the time. But mainly, you could zoom right the way in and see what your villagers were doing. Now, you could literally see them stood there with their little axes chopping away at trees. You could fly in and see them picking out the grains from the fields. You could watch it and see them actually patting and fussing the animals that they were looking after. It's just, in these sorts of games, those little details really go a long way to helping you immerse yourself in the world that they've given you. Well, Black and White overall is an amazing game. There's just no other way about that. Its open-ended options allow you to play how you want. It combines the different styles that you want, and it combines the challenges that allows you to play this game at any time. I mean, right now, I think you could pick up Black and White, install it, and most people would enjoy it. You know, it's been 16 years. They'd still enjoy playing it. It's got so much variety, so much to do inside the game, and I said it's that choice factor as well. You can be good, you can be evil, you can do a mixture of the two to get different results. It's up to you. I've done it before. I helped a load of people come in to my village by saving them from being trapped along the shoreline, and then one of the people was doubting me, so I picked him up and pinged him back into the sea. So you use that fear to show that you exist, but then you bring those people in because they know you exist and they're following you. You can then build them houses and that, and they're happily influenced then to follow you. It is a fantastic game. If I was going to give it a score out of 5, I would say it's a proper 5 out of 5. There's a few little things that can annoy you at times with this game, but there's so many good things with it, it just cancels it out. So that was Black and White on the PC. Obviously, if you can ever get hold of a copy of it or emulate it, I would suggest definitely give it a go. I mean, it just appeals to such a wide range of audiences because there's so much to do in it. Well, thanks for watching the video, guys. As always, you guys have been awesome. The support I've received from you guys has just been great for me. Obviously, still growing, getting the word out there, but every single time I come on and see the stats that have been left behind by you guys and the love that you've given, whether it be here or through my Facebook page, which is linked at the end of the video as well, it makes my day better every time. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for watching. Keep tuned for the weekly content, and later on this week there will be my top 10 coming out. This week's episode will be the top 10 assassins of Assassin's Creed, and also my very first impressions of Assassin's Creed Origins, which I picked up on the release date. That's going to be dropping as well, so we've got a nice bit of content going this week. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. It will keep you up to date and give you notifications when my videos come out. And of course, always feel free to drop anything you like in the comments. I love hearing from you guys, whatever platform it's on. And thanks for watching.